Hey everybody on the Pro Forum. So today's movie is a file from Eric Moore, and he's got this shadow all over the image. If you can see, like there's a shadow here, shadow here, shadow here, shadow here. And he wanted to know how to fix it. Well, if you notice, all of my settings inside of RAW are all set to default. They're just nothing, in other words, nothing done. Now I have a preset that I've created this personal default. And if you notice, when I switch over to this personal default, everything in the background got brighter, the skin tones got closer. They're not perfect, but they're closer. And this default is based upon my images, my studio, my setup, my way of shooting, all that kind of stuff. One of the reasons why I personally just can't stand off-camera flash is these dadgum shadows that Eric is getting. So, I've tested this, and if you look at the customer, the reason we would use an off-camera flash is to create a roundness to the face, which is highlight and shadow. But the position of that flash and whatever type of modifier being used generated tons of shadows. But look at the face from the little boy. Cheek here, same brightness. Cheek, 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 all the same brightness. So the image is basically still flat. So if you're gonna do a flat image, then put the flash right on top of the camera, and that way you don't have to deal with the shadows. But if you're going to use off-camera flash, use it the right way. Use it as a fill, that's my opinion, not as the main. If you're going to use it as the main, well, then you can't just blast into a dark background like this. So, Eric didn't know what he signed up for when he sent me this RAW file, but I'm going to do my doggonedest to fix it. So in the RAW world, first I'm going to take my highlights down a little bit, so that they're not quite so bright. I'm going to take my shadows down, and all I'm looking at this point in time is the overall skin tonality. I find it a little, I don't know, let's see if I can click on this white headband, if it improves the color. No, it gets more yellow. That got more green. We try mom's shirt, and that got really weird. Let me put it all back to where it was. That's closer to perfection. Let's take the highlights back down again. I'm gonna tweak the shadows just a little bit. I'm looking at the green going on in the background, so I'm gonna take luminosity. This is the fourth choice on your this is the HLS grayscale slider, and I'm gonna take the greens. Luminance means brightness, and I'm gonna pick up the brightness of those greens going on behind them. Their skin tone, I know, is made up of orange and yellow, so I'm going to take that up just a tad also, so as to kind of even those tones out. But I still see a weird redness going on, so maybe I could desaturate the red just a little bit, desaturate the orange just ever so slightly to kind of help that just a little bit. I'll also adjust the temperature by maybe giving it a little more yellow. Let's try that. No, that got too red. A little bit more blue. No, it got too blue. Maybe a little bit of green. No, that ain't right. Maybe a little bit of magenta. No, that ain't right. So, I mean, you're just gonna have to, I mean, that's awfully close, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Once I get this set the way I want it, okay, I then open the image and save it. Okay, so I'm gonna go File, Save As, and I'm just gonna put this out on the desktop somewhere so it's easy to find. I'm gonna call this image 2026A. Save, and I'm gonna remember what it looks like. Okay, and what I'm remembering is the tonality in here. Okay, now let's go back to our RAW processor. Let me close this file. Where was that? That was in an email. Let's go back and open this file again. And now, I think right in, let's see, where is that? Right in here somewhere. I think I have Where is that? I know there's a, but I don't ever do this, hardly ever. No, okay, well, I can't find it. Bentley might be able to hear my brain and adjust me. What I was trying to do, I know, there it is. Okay, right in here, right in this area, notice, I get a R213. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. I get R211. I get green 165. I get blue 146. Okay. Now, in this area, I want to, when I click here, I want to get the same numbers. So first thing I got to do is I got to bring up the brightness. And I click in here. Now I'm at 156. That's still not enough brightness. I'm at 213. That's close. 180. I got to drop that to 165. Or, well, that's close. And 146 versus 151. That's pretty close. I think it's a little too bright. So let's take that down a little bit. Adjust our highlights just a tad. Our shadowing just a little bit down. Our blacks just a little bit down. Let's take another sample. All right, that's 211. 186, 136, 146. Okay, so let's take our entire exposure up again. Where are we at now? 224, 180, 176, excuse me, 146. I went a little too far. So let's maybe drop that to 140. Let's try it again. 204, that's close. 149, it's close. 127, that's close. It's not perfect, but it's close. So I'll open the image there. All right, so now we got a too bright image, but in here, this tonality is pretty close to the other image. Let me go open that image. Desktop, where is it? What did I do? I should have just clicked open recent, huh? There it is. Okay? And I'm going to take this image and drop it right on top of that image. Now I don't need this image anymore. All right, now at this point, I have a normal exposed image with a dark image. This allows me to then drop in a layer mask and zoom in on this shadowy area and make a bit of an adjustment. So I can kind of come in here. Wait, I got the wrong brush. Let me get a soft edge brush. And I'm just going to kind of wipe in here right up to the edge of that line. Try to get close. I don't want to get into the normal skin area because I don't want to blow that out. So I'm trying to just get less of that shadow line and get her skin tonality, hair, all this in the shadows, closer to what it looks like in the normal image. Again, you're still going to have the line. We're going to address that in a few seconds. Just trying to get that skin tone closer. Here we go. All this in the neck. A little bit bigger brush in here. Okay, all this down in here on her arms. You notice I'm running at about 33% with the brush tool, brushing in those shadowed areas. Okay, same thing over here on the baby. Same thing over here on this girl's neck. Do a little bit on mom's clothes. Again, you know, some of these shadows are just not going to 100% go away. But in the really important areas like face, we are going to address that. All right, let's get in here a little bit more. Right in there. Let's go back to this girl's face because this is the really tough one. All right, just like that. We've got it kind of close. Not perfect, just close. All right. Okay, now let's flatten that down. And now what you have to do is use your healing brush to blend between the two. So get a nice little area of skin, like right in here, that's nice and clean, and you blend that shadow edge. And again, this is, like I tell you, this is a darn good reason to make sure this doesn't happen, because this is tremendous amounts of work for, you know, a 5x7 or 8x10. So you just have no choice but to blend in that line. And as you can tell, again, it's not going to be perfect. So I'm just trying to get it close. And I'm trying to make the bulk of the line go away. Then I take my straight clone tool, normal mode, kind of small, reduce the opacity, I got it set on 20, and you start doing the same thing. You just blend in. You try to make it look like it's a gradual blending from really, really bright to dark. Just easing out that shadow like that. All right, now way in here you got problems. You got to really try to get that calmed down without changing her look too much. And therein lies the problem with this kind of correction. I mean, this is a tedious job that needs, look, you got this crazy thing going on with her lip. You got to blend that. Teeth, you got to lighten all that up a little bit. So this is, unfortunately, Eric, what you would have to do, okay, is to keep blending, keep blending, keep blending until you get those lines. Another thing you can kind of do is using your dodge and burn tool on a low exposure in protected mode. You can kind of control some of the lightening of these areas beyond what we did with the raw conversion. Okay, see how I'm starting to get these areas blended in a little bit better. And you have to, like, I went a little too far right there. Let me back that up. Okay, you have to kind of keep blending and keep blending and keep manipulating like I'm doing here until it starts to take shape. And you have to just do it. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can because I don't want this video to be too long. Get really zoomed in, and see, now I can kind of start working the little detailed areas that don't look real. Some of these little detailed areas in here and in here. Okay, softening that little bump. See, all that needs to be nice and smooth. This lip needs working. So I think I've given you the basic principle of what has to happen to get this thing retouched. And even then, it's just not going to be perfect. So I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you some encouragement next time not to make that mistake, because this is a heck of a retouch. You're probably looking at an hour of playing and tweaking until this image is sort of close. Hope that helps, buddy. Y'all have a great one. Talk to y'all tomorrow.